What up guys, Cassetto here, and today we're going to be talking about the optical skills that you will get in the multiplayer starter kit. So let's get right to it. First skill we have is Blaster. Blaster is a medium range ability. Not many medium range abilities are found within Optical, so it's good to have at least one medium range just to cover that area. And Blaster is a fair cost. It costs 4 and it deals 4 damage. So this is like a good inclusion in almost every Optical deck, at least as a one-of. Alright, next we have Laser. Laser is Optical's Cycle Knife. It is a 1 cost, 1 damage ability that is long range and has an arcing shot animation that is fairly quick. If you can get your opponent in the right range, you can spam this. If you can shoot them at their base, that is incredible because you're sitting at your base shooting them at their base, but they're trying to hide and dodge while you're worrying about going through your deck and grabbing more skills, so you can kind of keep them at bay. And in order for them to really get away from it, they have to like hide in the cubby, or they have to get closer. And if they get closer, they're not at their deck. So Laser is really good. If I would play an Optical deck, I would definitely include at least 1 to 2 because you kind of want this early. It doesn't really help you in the late game. It just becomes like a little pester. All right, next ability we have here is Triple Lasers. Triple Lasers is pretty much laser, but 3 of them. It shoots 3 different directions of attacks. It's a triple arc, like 1 above, 1 goes left, and 1 goes right. The animation for this skill is fairly slow. This ability, in my opinion, isn't that great, but what makes it good is the fact that it's hard to dodge because there are 3 pieces. And since it's 3 pieces, if you have any damage enhancing abilities, each laser will gain that damage enhancement. So that's really good. So for instance, if you just increase your attack by 1, each laser is going to deal 2 damage instead, for a total of 6 damage if they all hit. Moving on to Rapid Cannon. Rapid Cannon is one of those really good abilities that if an Optical player has a lot of mana, that thing's going to go crazy. If you look real close, the animation of this ability is really fast, hence the name, Rapid Cannon. So you can pretty much fire this thing off for as much mana as you have. Rapid Cannon is one of those really fun abilities. If you have a lot of mana, you can just dump it out at your opponents and just really pester them. It's a really good late game ability. Next we have is Killer Satellite. Killer Satellite is one of those abilities that players love and players hate because it's fairly strong and difficult on some maps, but on other maps it just doesn't do anything. The animation is fairly slow. There's always some kind of signal to at least give the player a chance to dodge it. Killer Satellite is a long range ability that costs 5 and deals 6 damage. Now if you're on a place like Refinery where there's long walkways where if you go left or right you're going to fall off the map, so you can only go forward or backwards, Killer Satellite is going to be an amazing ability on that map. Again, it's one of those abilities, that's why it's loved and hated, because it really depends on the map. And so for that reason, if you do use Killer Satellite, I would only use as a one-of in your deck. Alright, and for the last ability is going to be our endgame ability called Vibration Blaster. Alright, what Vibration Blaster does, it's pretty simple. Requires a level of 10 or higher, and it costs 4 and does 6 damage. So if you rush to 4, it doesn't mean you're going to start doing 6. You have to have your level at 10 or higher for this move to unlock first. So, Optical players, how many should you include in your deck? I think you probably go for 2 of these because it's an endgame ability, or go for 1 because you definitely don't want it early. But if you can get yourself at 10 mana fairly quickly, you kind of want to find these as fast as possible. Alright guys, let's talk about Reflect Mirror. This defensive skill has a defense of 4 and a cost of 4. And it has a Reflect. Now Reflect is very good versus projectiles like Psycho Sniper, Rapid Cannon, anything shot at you. But I do not believe that they can reflect parabolas. So things like Rock Shot, Bomb, Psycho Spear is going to go right into this. And the really bad part about Reflect abilities is the fact that it can't stop melee skills. But alas, we have found salvation versus our Cycle Knife with our next defense ability, Paralyzed Barrier. Paralyzed Barrier is a barrier type defense skill that costs 4 and has a defense of 2. It says add target can't move for 3 seconds. If someone attacks you, you block it, and that opponent will kind of stutter in place. It will kind of capture him, and they cannot move from that spot. Another way to use this ability is the fact that you can run away, gain some distance, start hitting them with your Rapid Cannon. So Paralyzed Barrier is definitely a must-have in every Optical deck. Alright, for the next ability we have Level Amp. Level Amp costs 3. It's only 1 use, but it increases your level by 2. Now this is an amazing skill. It resembles that of some Druid spells in Hearthstone, some green spells in Magic the Gathering, in the fact that it ramps up your level. every optical deck, in my opinion, if you're trying to get high levels, should definitely contain 2 to 3 level amps. And if you are running 3 level amps, you can definitely sacrifice some aura on your deck. Usually a deck will want to contain 15 to 14 aura. You can even go down to low as something like 13. So I gotta take a second and give out a warning to optical players, because Psycho Burst and Psycho Wave is out there. So it's really awesome that you can increase your level very, very fast, but there's an immediate counter to that, because remember, Psycho Burst deals damage according to your level. The next special ability we have here is Recall. Now this one's a little weird. It costs 5, has 1 use, and it restores 5 random consumed skills to your arsenal. And it requires a level that's greater than 10. Now a skill can be anything, and I'm pretty sure that includes aura as well. The main use I would use here is if you're using a lot of single use abilities, you go ahead and eat a recall. You're going to increase the amount that's in your deck again, and you're going to increase the amount of uses you're going to get out of those single use abilities. Alright guys, next we have Gravity Mine. Now Gravity Mine is a pretty simple ability. It costs 5, you lay it on the ground, it's a mine, so any players can trigger it, including yourself, and when a player triggers it, it reduces their movement speed by 90%. So it's going to look like you're going to be going in very, very, very slow motion. Since they can't move a lot, you'll be able to connect your skills a lot easier with that. So you can set that on the ground, someone's chasing you, set it on the ground when you're running, they're going to trip it, they're going to go slow, you can create some distance that way, and then hit them off with your lasers and your blaster attacks. So go ahead in the comments below, tell me guys what you think about these multiplayer skills, and if you have anything else to say about the skills, go ahead, throw them in the comment below. I didn't want to go too far and beyond on every single use of every skill. Stay tuned next week. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch when I put the nature video up. Now, I'm telling you guys, I'm going to be playing nature. Anyway, guys, thanks for plugging in. Check you out later. Peace out.
DDR base! DDR base! DDR base! DDR base! I am here, and my name is Chaos. Rap is to me like music is the Amadeus. Wolfgang, the famous composer. When I stepped in, I told him to move over. I am the new kid on the block, and a mission to make your body